To be an efficient and a high-value data analyst, you have to know when to give directional answers and when to give precise answers. Last week, I ran into a situation where a VP was asking for a metric, and this request made it to me through a bunch of different people. Now, when I received the request, the first thing that I said was, does this need to be directional or does this need to be precise? Because if you're looking for a directional answer, the answer is 65%. But since nobody could go back to the VP and ask how they were going to use the data and what they were going to use it for, everybody treated this request as if it needed to be precise information. This resulted in over a dozen people working upwards of 40 hours, pulling data, communicating, and updating reports, all to fill this request for this VP. What was the result of all this work? The answer was 67%. My directional answer that took 3 seconds to calculate in my head ended up being off by only 2 percentage points from all that work that we did that took 40 hours to produce. Now, the reason that I share this is because this situation happens all the time. But unlike the situation where we couldn't get in touch with the VP, analysts almost always have the ability to go back to their stakeholders to ask clarifying questions. Unfortunately, when analysts don't go back to their stakeholders to ask why the data is needed and what the data is used for, the analyst can't determine if precision is needed or directional information is needed. This results in an analyst spending a lot of extra hours working on a request to get precise data when directional information is needed, and this ends up resulting in the analyst wasting a lot of extra time during their day. So if you want to be a high-value data analyst and an efficient data analyst, you need to make sure that you're asking the right clarifying questions and that you're working on the right thing, and you're also taking the most efficient steps possible and not going for precision when directional data is needed.